Hello and welcome to FPL Weekly. And for the first time in 3 weeks, we are not international. We are both in wet, gloomy England. My co-host is back from France. You got back this morning? Today?
No, I got back yesterday into the UK, and then came up from the south.
You had a good time?
Yeah, really good. It was. I would say that I'm not a massive kind of like, oh my God, climate change, the world, like not massive. However, like it's definitely something that I do think about, and I've really felt how impactful it can be this week. The result where we stayed at was the village was at 1,000 meters, and the top run, the top peak that it goes up to is about 2,400. Basically, all in all, that's generally quite a low resort, really. For example, Courchevel is 1,850, and then their top peak goes up to about 3,000 meters. So basically what I'm saying is that supply and demand with regards to alpine skiing in the Alps will mean that probably around about a third of the resorts will probably close within the spaces of 25 years, I would imagine. And what that means is supply and demand just means that skiing is just going to get more and more expensive, because there's places like where we went to, Le Clusaz, will be gone. Or if you think about a mountain, and the mountain's usually in two parts, so you've got the village up to the midpoint, and then the midpoint up to the peak. It'll just be skiing from the mid to the peak, if that makes any sense. The village is just inaccessible. And when like loads of livelihoods are built around it, it's pretty heavy. Like we were there peak season. This is the peak season for winter for skiing, and this is meant to be a good year of snow. So we are FPL. We do talk about FPL, but I just wanted to be. We're very up about FPL, so I wanted to bring some downer to the world. So, yeah. I mean, I'm saying this, and I've travelled skiing. If I really cared enough, I'd stay at home and stick on 7 jumpers. But like, I don't think that me going skiing is a massive impact on the world. However, I do think that there's big corporations probably need to start taking a little bit more responsibility when it comes to their carbon emissions. And when I say big corporations, I probably mean countries, really. And I think it's like, we can do all that we can, but if China continue to just pump the world full of gases and all kinds, and then are just completely oblivious to it and won't take into account, then we'll continue to be in this mess. So yeah,
agree. So FPL. So obviously I played the World Cup.
Sorry. I was and we didn't plan that, by the way. That was
okay.
completely...
I asked you about how your trip was, and you answered. That's fine. It's all good. Yes, we talk about FPL, but we like to discuss what's going on in our lives as well. Like
climate change.
Like I discussed about South Africa. So it's all good. Educating the listeners is always good. So, I played my wild card. I don't regret it. Am I reaping the rewards so far? Not really.
I think you are.
I think my team would have got very similar. So I'm on 72. And again, we always talk about 10% above the average, and the average is 55, and I'm on 72. So still a very good week. But the players that did well for me, I would have had anyway. So Jota, I would have brought in. Saka, I had anyway. Haaland, I would have captained anyway. Darwin, I had anyway. Tony was the only one that I had on my wild card that scored that I didn't have.
But think about how set up.
would have been Gabriel at 12. So it would have been incredibly similar. But yes, I'm hoping that I reap the rewards next week. We'll come on to triple captain, but I'm definitely playing mine. And I showed you earlier my predicted points with triple captain is 136, which is wild. It's absolutely wild. By the way, I don't expect 136. I think that's a bit over-egged, but I'm expecting at least 100, really. So, and like I said, mentioned to you earlier, you want to do well on a big scoring game week, and if I get 140 and Niall gets 95, then that's massive. So,
speaking of Niall,
yes,
where are you? Still
we need
yet
to go. We need to go hunting. Hunting.
So Niall has become a big talking point between me and Johnson, and we talk about him on a daily basis.
And for those that I've forgotten or would need reminding, we're basically in a league for the winner gets grand, and we're sharing it. So if either of us win, we're sharing the money, and it's literally a 3-horse race.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, as officially of today, because the guy in fourth had an absolute mare.
Yeah.
I think he.
So he's Boss Marley
a little bit today, but he hasn't got Haaland. So if you don't have Haaland, you're just screwed. And he's got Triple City with no Haaland, so he's blocked himself from Haaland. So literally ignore him.
Basically,
he can't get to Haaland before the double.
So there's Niall, Johnny, and myself. And Niall's 1442, Johnny is 1454, and I'm 1476. So there's what 28 points.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's looking good, but obviously
35
it's a nice
points.
prize. Yeah, it's a nice prize, and but it is just him, and he won't go away, which is a bit annoying. But
and we have daily debates about how good we think he is, and he's made a transfer. He made 2 transfers this week.
3.
Yeah,
took a full one hit. Yeah.
Sorry. Johnny is well in tuned with his team. One of them was Haaland, very sensible. He's come in and got a 2-goal return. Was it Haaland for Solanke? Was it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He made a midfielder change. He took out Jota for Salah, which again got him a return. So there's another goal. So there's 3 goals. And then he brought in a defender. He brought in 4. I'm just seeing who he took out.
Wait, that's so right. Estupinan for Reguilon. Estupinan got 9. Reguilon got 12. Reguilon's lucky, mate. I'm sorry, but it is. He's come. He's played 1 game, right? He played 70 minutes, so he doesn't know that he's nailed. He definitely doesn't know that he's going to keep a clean sheet. At Wolves is a tough game. We fully expected Wolves to score. We didn't know Reguilon was on corners. We didn't know he was going to play. And the fact, and like I said to you pre-pod, the only reason he played is because his other 2 defenders don't play. Tsimikas doesn't play. I'll talk to you about him as well. And Livramento doesn't play. Now, Livramento might get some more game time soon because Byrne has been playing and he's been getting rinsed every game. So Tino might start to get some games, but he's not a good FPL pick. I mean, who has Tino? No. And I'm assuming Tsimikas just won't play, right? It's just Robbo.
Mm-hmm.
They can't play Robbo and Tsimikas, can they?
I think Tsimikas will be used in FA Cup. Yeah. The FA Cup and the...
You just play Robbo and you play Gomez or Bradley or Trent. If Trent's injured, you play Bradley. And if Bradley's still on compassionate leave, you play Gomez. So I just can't see how Tsimikas plays, really. And like I mentioned to you on Boys Club earlier, Robbo hasn't been coming back from a bad injury. It's a bad injury, but what I'm saying is he doesn't, as far as I'm aware, need to, like Salah needs bedding in, Haaland needs bedding in. Doesn't need bedding in. Robbo.
I would say that he needs match sharpness.
But I feel like I feel like he's had it now.
He's going to stay fit because he's going to have stayed on the bike and stuff. So yeah.
Is he going to start Brentford away? Yes.
Yeah. especially with this situation in our defence at the moment. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so I think that we should probably go through a little bit of game by game, just with game week 24. So obviously there was with the significant games, and trust me, we're not going to be talking about too many other ones. But yeah, so started the fixtures with Man City and Everton, and it was a 2-0 win for Man City, and it was a Haaland brace, and I think it's just normal service has been resumed. I think from coming away from an FPL point of view and a general Premier League point of view, this is City now. This is City. They have just gone. They've revved to full.
They weren't anywhere near the best either.
No, third. They were in third. They've been in second gear. They've just and basically Liverpool and Arsenal are like two hot hatchbacks, and they're there trying to. They've revved it off the line. Oh Jesus, here we go, and then City have just pulled out, and they're just this Audi.
Yeah, I agree.
RS,
yeah,
souped up, just boom.
I think Haaland was obviously really nice because we captained him, obviously. But I think it's more important that he got the goals and he got the game time under his belt. Like he played the whole game, and he's got his goals. So 1, he's back. 2, he's fit. 3, he gets the chip off his shoulder off his back. Do you know what I mean? It's an official, I'm back and I'm still shit hot. So that kind of gives me the confidence that I can now triple captain him. I think, look, if he played 60 minutes and didn't score, I'd be a bit like, ooh. Whereas now I'm committed to triple. I think triple captain is just the best move. I think you're doing it as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I've played around with a couple of things, and I've thought about a couple of other things, and which we'll come on to in our future plans a little bit later. But yeah, so that's the ultimate plan. Anyway, so
the other quick news on that, which kind of made me panic a bit pre-deadline, is De Bruyne. We got the leak that De Bruyne was benched, and I thought, oh shit. And then my initial reaction was, well, I can't have him on my wild card, but I had to completely restructure my team, and it was all a bit too late because you can't have Salah. So where do I spend my De Bruyne money? Where do I spend it? I could have upgraded Virgil to Trent, but we didn't get guaranteed information that Trent was starting, so that's a bit dumb. Literally, where else do I spend my De Bruyne money? So I was looking at Hwang. Luckily, I didn't because he didn't play. Son blanks in 26, and there's no one else. Maybe Bowen. But again, I'm glad I didn't because West Ham looked flat, the pancake. So, and then I thought, do you know what? Just go with De Bruyne, bench him this week, because if he does, it feels like he's got his rest, and he feels like he's going to get pretty decent minutes in his double. So I ended up just benching him. He still got an assist because he's that good. But yeah, I kind of got over that. The other move, by the way, the third city I was going to go to in my restructure was Walker, and then Walker gets benched.
Yeah,
So what would have been my third city?
I've got Walker, and I must admit I'm quite worried as a Walker owner.
A little bit. I think he's going to play most games. I think the slight issue is City are I've got Champions League again now, so they're going to be a little bit of pep roulette. Just really quickly before I forget, Liverpool's the early fixture next week.
Yeah,
so we'll definitely get that team. I sadly for me, I can't see how it would affect me too much because they're all doubling. So even if it's Darwin's bench, what do I do with him?
Yeah, you're still going to play him.
I have to just play it. He's doubling.
And realistically, the Saturday fixture is a little bit harder than it's a lot harder than the other one. Even though I think that they're both really good fixtures. Away at Brentford is a little bit harder. Home to Luton. So, yeah. The next game to talk about was probably Liverpool-Burnley. I thought that Liverpool, I messaged you, I watched the game, and the Liverpool were really flat in the first half. Really, really, really flat. Burnley have a winger. What was his name?
Koliyoshu, was that him?
I messaged you with him. Wow, he was good.
Odebear.
Odebear. Really good. Really, really, really good. When they get relegated, which they're going to be, I think someone needs to snap him up because he's raw, but he puts people on the back foot. Reminds me a little bit of Mane at Southampton.
Yeah.
Not because he's black, but just because he's like he plays like him. Really puts him on the back foot.
Quick winger.
Yeah. Just ratty and just gets And Darwin got his goal eventually. He didn't think
he's so funny to own, isn't
he? I love owning him. I love owning him.
He should have a hat-trick every game.
Yeah. I mean, Jota, by the way,
creates is madness.
Jota is one of the most clinical finishers.
Yeah.
I've seen since
Jota's data is less than 50% as good as Darwin's data, but he's obviously 100% more clinical. If Nunes was as clinical as Jota, wow.
Yeah, but like that's not what we love about him, and like I love owning him. I really love owning him.
He's still got like 11 goals or something this year, Darwin. So,
of course he has. Of course he has.
Yeah,
but he should have had. He should have had
the radar.
Should have had 61, not 11.
I think his 8 yellow cards are a bit of an issue because what's happening is he's getting his goal, but he's getting his yellow card, and then he's not getting any bonus points.
Yeah.
So he got his goal, but he only got 6. Do you know what I mean? And then the other day, what happened? Do you remember when he got on his assist? He came on and got his assist, who got 4 points, and then he got booked, who got 3. So like, it just kills his BPS when you get booked. So look, it is what it is. You don't not select someone for booking, but the other definitely worth keeping an eye on. He's got 8 yellows, and 10 yellows is too much ban. So I agree with you. He'll probably be out by then, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Like if he gets booked in the first game with a double, it's like because we might want to hold him for 27. So yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on. Put it that way.
Yeah. Jota, love it. I really like that Jota move. I needed to get him in.
Strong rumours. It's 2 months.
The other little bit of an elephant in the room was we got news that Robbo was starting, and I went there. It was 0.1 more than Van Dijk, and I just felt that there was. I could justify that 0.1. There was just because of the attacking returns. He's on all the corners. And I don't know. I felt like I had enough template in my team to cover it all off, and I felt that he was going to offer me something a little bit different.
I was tempted because I need to get rid of that defender in 26 anyway. Because we'll come on to Luton. It's the next game, but because I've got 2 Luton defenders who are blanking in 26, if I have a Liverpool defender who's blanking, I only have 2 defenders, so I have to get rid of that Liverpool defender in 26. But the 0.1 was actually massive for me because I used every penny of my value. The 0.1 gave me problems. So, and the other thing is when you've got a team that's doubling, I really needed nailed. And he's 95% nailed, but Van Dijk's 100% nailed.
Yeah. And
so that's why I went.
I could carry a little bit of, just a little bit more risk in my team. I felt like. So I'm realistically, he's gone in a couple of weeks. So it was just a little bit of a free hit. He didn't return, obviously, but we move on. I'm content with the decision, but not over the moon with it. But I just got carried away with the one really. But yeah. Next one was Luton and Sheffield United. So our good friend Kingy had a starting lineup of. I mean,
it looks terrible. It really does. I'll justify myself in a minute.
Kaminski, Doherty, and Bell. 3 Luton defenders.
Bell got a 2-point bonus. They conceded 3 goals, and Bell got a 2-point bonus. No attacking return.
So, I mean, look.
Shall I explain myself?
I mean, you are all in there. You are all in, and you're all in with Luton. You're all in with Luton.
Yeah,
you're all in with Luton.
All right, so 3 Luton on a wild card is a no-brainer. So let's start with that. Sheffield United at home, double in 25, double in 28. It's a no-brainer. And I can cover my arse in 26. So I was fully stand by this 100% that Triple Luton is a good idea. And they've been playing good football. Yes, defensively, that's probably where I went wrong. They're not amazing defensively, but they've been playing some good stuff. They're an improving side. Long story short, they've got two doubles, and they've got Sheffield United at home. So I definitely decided I wanted 3. Now the striker situation, well, it's hard enough for me as it is because I've got Darwin, Haaland, Watkins, and Tony. I'm trying to squeeze 4 of those into 3 spots. So Adebayo's not even anywhere close. So then the only one left, really, if I don't want to go triple defence, the only one left is Barkley. And do you want Barkley or Garnacho at the same price? Well, you want Garnacho, don't you? Because he plays in 26 against Sheffield United. No, he plays 29 against Sheffield United, 26, and then they've got Brentford at home or Fulham at home. Fulham at home, I think. So I don't want Barkley, and I can't fit in Adebayo, but I want Triple Luton. The goalkeeper makes complete and utter sense because he doubles, and then I can just bench him for the blank. So it doesn't count as a transfer out because you see what I mean? Because I can just switch Areola in. So the Kaminsky Areola double was a complete and utter no-brainer. Bell is 3.9, so he's a blank holding spot on a player that doubles, and he's nailed. No-brainer. And then Doughty is incredibly attacking. You see the thing I sent you? Most chances created of any player all year or something. It's some wild stat. So on paper, it's great. Now, yes, I will admit I'm not stupid. I will hold my hands up and say that Triple Luton is very, very risky, very, very loose. And I think you could easily look at that and go, oh, God, Triple Luton. The way I see it, right, in their doubles, Sheffield United at home. In Sheffield United at home, when they're 2 doubles, if they keep 2 clean sheets in those 5 games, wow. I'm laughing.
Yeah, of course you are.
Even if they keep 1 clean sheet in those 5 games, let's say in one of the doubles they keep 1 clean sheet, they're getting 8-9 points each. 1 clean sheet in 5 games. That's all I need. So, yes, it didn't get off to a great start. Yes, they conceded 3 goals to Sheffield United. Is that a concern? Yes, of course it is. Can I change it now? No. I'm balls deep. So who do I play instead?
You really are.
Just really quickly going on to that. Week explode. I touched upon that a little bit earlier. I've got 10 doublers plus Saka. So, who do I play instead of Bell? And don't get me wrong, the double's tough. United at home and Liverpool away. Do I play Diego Carlos at Fulham instead of a doubler? No. Do I play Emerson at Nottingham Forest instead of a doubler? No. Do I play Areola at Forest instead of a doubler? No. So, yeah, it is what it is. I don't love Triple Luton, but it is what it is. And they also double in 28. So, and they're also very likely to play in 29. So, yeah, long story short, was it the right move at the time? Do I stand by it? Yes. Am I concerned? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I expect a clean sheet now? No. Because they just conceded 3 goals to Luton and they conceded 4 goals to Newcastle. Blah, 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 blah. But what do?
There's nothing you can do.
I'm committed to it. So, I say, look, if they can somehow keep a clean sheet against United, then wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that really. It was a bit annoying because all the updates I kept getting on my phone were Luton are in control of the game, Sheffield United creating nothing, and then bang, goal. I was like, oh. But anyway, like I say, the optimistic side of it, Doughty is an incredible option. He's unbelievably attacking, and he will get me probably some attacking returns in the next 4 or 5 game weeks, at least one, based on his data. And Bell somehow picked up a 2-point bonus when he didn't get any attacking returns, and his team conceded 3 goals at home.
Yeah.
So that's a tiny silver lining. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. Like I say, I had my reasons. I just have to. I have to go with wildcard now. I don't. Look, it's not a regret. It's just, could I have found a way? Could I have found a way to go 2 Luton? No, I'm not lying. No, I was going to go 3
No,
Luton.
you were all over it, weren't you? You were all over it.
3 Luton's a no-brainer. Could have got Barkley maybe, but then who do I take out for Barkley? Saka was amazing today, and he's got Burnley away.
We'll come on to that. Yeah.
Foden is a lock. De Bruyne for me and my wildcard was a no-brainer. Jota's a no-brainer. Garnacho was an amazing enabler. So where did Barkley go?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. We're not going to spend too long on this one, but Tottenham, Brighton.
Yeah,
Obviously, Johnny's a Brighton fan. I didn't have the game on because I was watching the Liverpool game, but Hannah's, my partner's mum, who's a season ticket holder at Brighton, had like constant updates on the go and stuff, and it seemed like it was a pretty close game, really.
Could have been any score. Yeah, the
and
XG was very close. Could have been 3-3.
Yeah,
both teams created a lot of chances. Both teams play like that. Very, very open teams.
Yeah.
So, could have been anything. We missed a couple of sitters. They missed a couple of sitters. It's just annoying when there's literally 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, thing to watch out for is Son being back. Now, there was a little bit of content in the week talking about how sweet people were for Son, and me and you were a bit dismissive of it, and mainly because of that blank. The fixtures that they've got are pretty average up until game week 27, and then they are really good. And it basically screams to me like you're going to replace Liverpool with Tottenham, and that
you're going to drip feed Tottenham in there, yeah. Unless we by 27 we'll know the games for 29. So unless there's a shock, let's say United are playing Sheffield United in 29, and we'll bring in United.
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah.
But ultimately, Tottenham are the go-to team. Son is going to be the most captained player in game week 29. So you're probably going to want him for that fixture.
And then they've got Luton at home, by the way, in 30. So that's another reason why it's going to be quite popular.
Yeah.
After 29, they're good. So.
Yeah. So the other two fixtures on Saturday were Wolves and Brentford. Brentford got a little bit of a shock result, really. I definitely wouldn't have put that in an accumulator. And then the other one, again, probably a little bit of a shock result in the sense of I didn't fancy Newcastle away from home.
They got a little bit fortunate as well.
Yeah.
Forest were arguably the better side. Forest had the better data. I think Newcastle had 0.5 XG and they scored 3 goals. So Bruno made the difference, put it that way. His 2 goals were great goals, kind of came against the run of play, and he's just a bit of star quality. But Forest had most of the game, to be honest.
Definitely. I watched the game, and Trippier is just annoying me. His data is awful. He's conceding goals all the time.
But the problem is he's conceding goals, so he got 5 points.
Yeah. So anyway, coming on to today. So we're filming this on Sunday evening, and today we've had a great day of football. I want to say that. I really do want to emphasise that. I think that they were 2 fabulous games. Mainly, I want to say the first game was because I'm not going to say how bad West Ham were.
It was both.
They were bad. They were. I want to talk more about how good Arsenal were. Yeah. And me and you,
I agree with you. It was 60% Arsenal were amazing, 40% West Ham were crap.
But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about why West Ham were rubbish, because ultimately I'm not going to have a West. I don't like West Ham. So
I've got the only reason why. Defender, but yeah.
The only reason why I've got Areola is because he's 4 million. So but and by the way, I think that this result's good for us as Areola owners. The main reason why is basically David Moyes can't let that happen again. So he shuts up shop. Shop. So you've got Emerson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dropped, mate. He's gone.
Well, I have to
I
keep him now.
No, but I would really worry about his
No, yeah, it's
because
not ideal.
he was so bad today, pal.
Yeah, it's not
He
ideal. But like, so
was
the only reason is
so bad.
because they play 26-29.
I know, but he won't. They, the
Mm,
team might play, but I can't see how. I cannot see how David Moyes continues to pick him.
it's Creswell. It would be Creswell, and Creswell's barely played all season. So we'll see. Maybe he might change it. It would be a bit lucky if he does because he's been nailed all season.
Saka was really good. He's just such a
He was
hole.
so lively, mate. He missed
I
two.
know.
Did you see
I know.
his interview
Yeah.
afterwards? They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations, man of the match." He's like, "I'm gutted because I should have scored two more." Like,
Yeah.
missed a couple of absolute sitters.
Yeah, and
He was
I agree
so
with him.
lively. I imagine his XG was very high.
Mm.
So it's the
And
first
yet,
time pretty much all season where I've gone, wow. You know, I've kind of slagged him off a little bit to you and say he's a fraud and all that stuff. And, you know, he's a very highly owned player that hasn't really been performing.
we say fraud, and I'm in agreement with you. I think that there's a lot of Saka loving out there for him, and there are equally players who are English who don't get the love. So someone I'm gonna let's say Trent, for example. Okay, now I think Trent gets vilified.
Yeah,
but
that's definitely true.
And
but I would be
the
happy
things
to find. I think it's the perfect example with Trent is if I'm England manager, I am finding a way to get him in that side. 80 to 90% of people I speak to don't have Trent in their 11 for England.
But like Trent Alexander-Arnold has won everything.
He's a talent. You need players like that on your side.
And he's 24, 25 years of age. Yeah. Saka is 21, 22. He's won nothing. He's won nothing. I'm not saying that Saka's not a good player, but I feel that he has people have an inflated opinion about him. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
And it's not. I like him as a player, but it was more really off, really off. And he was blanking, and he was playing wide, and I was like, ugh. And then even when and then he'd give a couple of penalties up, and he just gave me the ick, and that's why I dodged him quite well actually for a few weeks. Then ended up having to get him in for Son. But anyway, luckily since I brought him in, he's actually done really well for me, and it's kind of I've always timed my run quite well with him. But now, because there's an argument, like I was touch and go with him on a wild card because he doesn't double. So, but put it this way, I'm very, very glad I did. Very glad because I was sick. Like it was bad enough for me. Obviously, I had Gabriel. I've had Gabriel for a lot of the season, and he's been doing very, very well. So to have to take him out was pretty gut wrenching. And then he really shafted me today with another goal and a clean sheet, which was very frustrating. So if I'd have gone without Saka as well, then I'd have been absolutely gutted. But long story short, I'm thrilled now to own Saka. And for me, he's my only player next week that doesn't double, but he's got Burnley away. After what I saw today, I'll be absolutely staggered if he blanks against Burnley away. Staggered. Staggered.
And then the final game of today was Aston Villa and Man United. I just loved how tense the game was and how important the game felt. I actually thought that United were deserving of their win, I must admit. I think that Villa came into the game for 20, 25 minutes. The first half was pretty controlling by Man United. On the break, those three players are really good, mate.
Garnacho's another one that, he's kind of... We were unlucky not to get anything, for sure. Like, he had a couple of really, really good chances. But at the same time, I definitely looked at him for a 4.8 midfielder and went, yes, please.
Yeah, he's very similar to Darwin, and in the sense of you've got him in there, and he's amazing value for what you've got him in there for.
Amazing value.
There's going to be
Next
weeks.
Next year it'll be 7 million.
There's going to be weeks when you are frustrated by him, and there's going to be weeks when you're going to think Jesus, I could just have James Ward-Prowse here or Pascal Gross, and I will have scored more points. But his ceiling is so high. You know, last week he scored 2 goals, and he could have scored 5.
He's not far off. When I initially set my wild card, I thought, I might have to have a blank midfielder here, and the blank price is pretty much the blank price at the start of the season is 4.5. He's 4.8.
Yeah.
He's effectively 0.5 away from a blank price.
Yeah.
It's just staggering.
So he's a no-brainer.
No point in having a blank when you can have a Garnacho.
No,
honestly, like I said, he's what's Anthony 7.5.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like, he should be 7.5 Garnacho. And when you've got something like that, then it's too good to be true. Then you just have, especially on a wild card, like, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Coming away slightly from FPL, when you look at, did you hear about when Klopp was saying everyone was talking about Liverpool needed to buy? They were talking about Liverpool needed to buy a right back. Liverpool needs to buy a right back.
Yeah.
And he said, well, we didn't want to because we knew that we had Conor Bradley and we were really sweet on him.
Yeah.
Well, I think basically Man United, when they've gone out and spent all that money on Anthony, I know it was last year when they've done that, but Garnacho had just won the FA Youth Cup and he was incredible in that FA Youth Cup run. If they knew that he was that good, why did they feel the need to go and spend 75 million quid on Anthony? It just makes no sense.
He just doesn't get a kick now, mate. He doesn't even come off the bench.
But
he didn't come off the bench today.
Anyway,
he's that bad. He's that bad. I think Ten Hag's literally just gone, can't play him.
Well, yeah, but anyway, moving on. There is one fixture left, and it is Chelsea versus Palace.
And I will purely be watching that to try and avoid Cole Palmer.
I know we've both taken Cole Palmer out of our teams. It's with long term.
Before you listen and go, that's utter madness, because I've been banging the drum on every single episode that we've recorded. I've pretty much been banging the Cole Palmer drum, but he's got City away in 25, he blanked in 26, and he blanked in 29. So regardless of how good you are, I don't want that headache. And he will be back in my team.
Yeah.
But it will be 30 or 31.
Basically, we've kind of said that between now, for the next 5 game weeks, people will outscore him. Cumulatively, people will outscore him.
In a wild card, there was better options.
Yeah, and I took him out for Jota, and Jota's already returned. So I'm happy to say that whoever I bring in after Jota, because Jota will probably come out for 26.
I've got a gut feeling.
What?
I've got a gut feeling that he's going to blank. That might make it short, and he might make me look really ridiculous. But if they don't get a pen, I think he blanks. We'll see. I hope I'm right. It'd be a tremendous blank for us. But you got Gusto as well, so
yeah. So I've got
sheet would be nice for you, and that could happen, by the way, because there's no Eze or Elise, so that could happen.
Well, that was why I couldn't lose both of them. I needed a piece of Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea are going to win tomorrow night, and I think it could be quite big.
Gusto will be going this week for you, I'd have thought.
Yeah, he could just sit third on the bench.
And he has to go for 26.
But he doesn't hold a lot of value.
Yeah.
So
you've got triple Liverpool and Gusto.
Yeah.
So what have you got at the moment? 4 blankers.
I've got
no
5.
Spurs. You've got Porro.
No, because I took Porro out for Robbo.
You've got, who else have you got? 3 Liverpool.
Well, I'll tell you now. I'll do it on FPL team.
4, isn't it? 3 Liverpool, 1 Chelsea. You've got no Spurs.
I've got Gusto blanking, Robbo, Diogo, and Darwin. Yeah. So
cool. That's fine.
So it is fine.
You took out 2 blankers, didn't you? Palmer and Porro.
Yeah. So
but you'll obviously need to take at least 1 more out before 26, because you're going to want to get 11 out for 26.
Yeah, and at the moment it's looking like it's going to be Darwin.
Yeah.
Well, Darwin and Jota, because they carry the most amount of value, and
Yeah.
Robbo, maybe.
My problem
Just
with Jota is I just don't know which midfielder I'm going to bring in.
Yeah, I mean Darwin to Solanke is the obvious pick,
Yeah.
and then really my midfielder is probably going to be a cheap one
Yeah.
because I need to make room for Bowen to Salah or Bowen to
Don't know
Son.
who.
Yeah,
Like, if you're thinking about teams that play in 26 and play in 29, you don't have anyone from Fulham midfield, no one from Burnley midfield, possibly Son if you can afford him.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to be able to get Son really because I'm
Brentford
probably going to go.
Midfielders. Do you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is a lot of the teams that play in 26 and 29, who'd you go from Villa midfield?
No one.
So maybe Douglas Luiz, but I don't love it. So yeah, so that's what I mean. I think I have to go defender transfer in 26 because otherwise I've only got 2. So I'm looking at Pau Torres because he plays 26, plays 29, and he's the most nailed Villa defender. You can go Moreno. I just upside is huge, but from there's a good mate of mine who I spoke to about Villa and FPL Villain on Twitter, both very knowledgeable, and they both said that they'll be 50-50 in games. Dina started off the season really, really well. He really likes both of them. They both can't play. They literally can't play together.
Yeah.
They won't play on opposite flanks. So it's literally one or the other, and they'll share minutes. So longer term, Pau Torres is a lock. So it'll probably be him as a defender change. And then I need to get rid of Darwin or Jota, and it will probably be Darwin to Solanke. It bugs me so much not having Watkins, but I'm just not sure there's anything I can do about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's we're more than, you're definitely going to be not making a move this week, so you can get
definitely
2.
Rolling. I've got 10 doublers and a Saka and a triple captain.
I'm more than likely going to roll this week and just put Gusto right at the bottom of the bench. No chance of coming on, mainly because I can't afford to bring in another doubler. The only other doubler that I could possibly do would be it's really hard. It's really hard.
Tony's an amazing option the next few weeks, but I just don't know how you get him in. You can't do it for Darwin. You can't do it for Haaland. Your other ones, Watkins. You just can't really do it. But Tony's roof, by the way, the next few weeks is quite high.
Yeah. So, but you've got him, and I'm happy you have. So that's fine.
And you've got Watkins, so that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's us. We will. Obviously, we'll probably do a pod in between the double game week stuff, and then we might try and squeeze another one out. But yeah, we'll be a little bit more
we've gone
positive.
quite early this week.
We've gone early. We've gone early, but we'll probably do another weekend one next weekend, I imagine. And we'd probably do a one maybe in the midweek as well next week. So, and then we'll go from there.
In general, I would say we're still doing pretty well. We're both top 100k.
I'm 50k now.
Yeah, and I'm floating around 100k. So both doing pretty well. Both looking good in our GTF league. We're catching FPL weekly leader, by the way.
Are we?
You might even be, just give me 1 second, you might even be top now. Because he had a bad week. You are 2 points behind him. He got 61. He didn't captain Haaland, he captained De Bruyne. He had Douglas Luiz. I mean, that is so grotty. Oh. Gross. If Colwood doesn't play, Kufal comes on for a -1 as well. So long story short, you're 2 points behind him. So, it would just be nice if we finish 1 and 2 in our own FPL Weekly League with quite a few people in it. Wow, with 42 people in it, then that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And big shout out to Dice Gravy, Davey G, who got last week. I will read out the message. We're gonna finish the pod with this. By the way, it's incredibly X-rated. By the way, what he sent me, but It's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay. He put on Tuesday when everything had landed. He said, "Once you've waxed up your skis this morning, I suggest you wax up your bumhole because I'm coming in hot." With a screenshot of his 109 points.
His team is so bad. It's
From game
so
week
bad.
23, 109 points. Honestly,
His team is terrible as well.
well, yeah.
Is
Anyway.
he doing well or not? Or did he just have a fluke week?
No. He's engaged. He's engaged. 1-4-0-5. I think he had a lull. I think he had a bad game week and he didn't make a few transfers for a few game weeks. But he's coming in hot now, quite literally. So,
is he in FPL Weekly League or not?
Yeah, in FPL Weekly, he's fifth. Dash gravy. David Garner getting in there.
109 points.
That was
Foden
it.
captain.
Yes, mate. Yes.
What is that?
Yeah.
Come on, mate. Hindsight's an easy thing. Foden captain over Haaland.
That was last week, though.
It's madness.
He got a hat trick. It looks quite good, doesn't it?
Great in hindsight. Who captained Foden over Haaland? No one.
Who did he captain this week? He captained
And now he's captain Haaland.
Haaland. Yeah, sensible.
So why was he not sensible against Brentford?
I'm sticking up for him.
Madness.
Right. Hope everyone is well and they have a fruitful end to game week 24.
And hopefully Palmer blanks. I'm sure you all listening want him to do well, but we want him to blank. So, yeah. On that note.
And up the gusto. Catch you in a bit. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.